But this is Hollywood 101. We are being queer baited, marriage baited, everything in between. And I guess the only part of this I don't understand is they really are helping Morgan. And I wonder
Right.
why. Like most of the time it's for financial reasons, right? Usually you don't just do that. It's Hollywood, right? Okay. We know a lot of people that are famous and they never help their friends get famous. So did they have, I guess where Kyle is producing this documentary, there is money at stake. And I think and maybe it's as simple as Mo and Kyle know it is great for their brands. It's great for their reality shows. It's great heading into the fall for RHOBH.
But like, do they
They're
care? Like,
great.
I mean, if you're Drew
Yes, they care.
Sidora and, the thirst is real from Atlanta, or you're, I don't know, Taylor Armstrong back on the OC, and all of a sudden, 35 years later, you're bi, really, girl? Like, I understand the thirst of it all, but like Kyle Richards is not thirsty. Her position on the show is so secure. Love her. People call her vile. There's a lot of people that call her vile. I'm not doing it. A Tamra, I will call Tamra. I'm not saying her name is vile, but people do refer to this woman as vile. So, like, but her position, whether you love her or hate her, is secure on the show. She's one of the most secure housewives after Teresa.
Doesn't
So
matter.
why no? What? It just
No.
doesn't matter. She wants a
You
blockbuster
always
season.
need the fame. You need the fame for your kids, for the agency. I mean, and
I
the
guess
thing
you're right.
the thing that separates like a Kris Jenner and Adam Levine, he is allegedly famous for staging things now. A Kyle and Mo from a Drew Sidora or a Taylor Armstrong is just it's the strategy. It's they're strategic about it, and they're more subtle about it, and it causes a bigger
And
fuss.
they don't look thirsty. Maybe they're masters at it. You know what I
They
mean?
don't look thirsty. And I mean, along the way, right? The Kardashians, like that robbery in Paris was not staged, I
No.
mean,
And by the way, everybody agrees about Kanye. I mean, I've had major fashion people on here, Zach Posen, Isaac Mizrahi, Norma Kamali. They all agree. Yes, Kanye, you say what you want, 100% elevated Kim to the fashion icon she is. She's never
oh,
got the cover of Vogue before Kanye. I mean, I love Kim Kardashian. I'm a huge apologist, but yes, she's a force to be reckoned with in the fashion world now because of Kanye. I mean, she's taken it and run with it, but yeah, he totally elevated her style.
110%. So
Maybe
I
you're
think
right. Maybe you think it's all just publicity. It helps Morgan more than anyone. I mean, I am going to watch the documentary, so it does help Kyle's documentary. I don't know. I would have watched Buying Beverly Hills anyway, and the Real
I would
Housewives have.
I still won't. I mean, nothing.
uh,
I actually love Mauricio. We've met him. I love that. But I just have too many reality shows. I mean, Sister Wives starts this week. I mean, I can't. It's just I cannot take on one more show. So
I don't watch any of them, but the real estate porn, I can't look away from. I love it.
I just think we've been so queer baited.
We've been queer baited. I'm a
Yeah,
little
we
upset
really
about
have.
this.
Me too. I mean, we were all invested, and I don't think they're going anywhere as far as Kyle and Mo getting divorced. I don't think it's
You
real.
don't really.
What do you
Although, what
think?
about? Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, Kyle would put her marriage out there for this. Oh my gosh! But he's been seen without his wedding ring recently. You saw that, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't care. They know at this point.
They
they're
know.
they're playing into it. I mean, they know every time they go out, paparazzi are there and looking for signs. Are they with another person? Are they coming out of a nightclub late at night with somebody hot and younger? Or Morgan, is she? Come on, they know what they're doing. They're playing into it. Keep the drama going. I don't care who you are, how big you are. You need maybe Taylor Swift. Taylor and Beyonce are the only two that probably don't need the drama. But
When I had just had
everybody
Dax
else
Holt on
does.
my show recently, a few weeks ago, he said he doesn't, he said he even brought up Taylor Swift on my show. I said the same thing you did. He's like, and Taylor, when she broke up, I didn't know if it was real. It was the same time the tour was happening. And I'm like,
There you go.
Taylor
She needs
Swift,
it too.
he's like David. And Dax has a great podcast. He has a history with, he's like, David, everybody needs it. I'm like, Taylor Swift? She's like the biggest
Everybody needs.
celebrity in the world right now. He's like, right. He's like, it doesn't matter. Like, more is more is more. I don't know.
Look, one of
What are
my
we doing
favorite.
wrong? What are we doing wrong here, Sarah?
We're not. The only thing we're doing wrong is we're not sitting around strategizing Who could we beef with? Who could we be, like that's what we're not doing, because we're recording 1,800 podcast episodes a day.
Not me, honey. I'm
No,
trying
we
to
need
cut
to sit
back.
around and strategize because it works. It works. Everybody needs it. He's completely correct. I don't care who you are. And, yeah, it's great for business. So we've been
Wow.
created.
All right. You asked me about what's going on in the Hamptons. So, I went out. So I went out this weekend. I had drinks with Barbara Kay. Barbara Kay and I have reconciled. Remember, did I tell you that story? How she was like kind of a bitch to me when I saw her at the dinner with I don't remember what I say, where I say. I had this dinner with Elise and Barbara Kay a few weeks ago. She was really cold to me when I showed up. I basically told her she was a bitch to her face. By the end of the dinner, I went to hug her hello, and I was like, oh, so we're not hugging. I'm like, you're a bitch. By the end of the dinner, we kind of made up. We had a drink this past weekend. Everything is fine. She just bought a new car. I love you, Barbara Kay. So that's not even the story. The night before, I go to Tudo. Shout out to Sam and Lisa Gallo who are listening at Tudo. So I go to Tudo and I walk in and Lisa's like, your friend Elise is here. I'm like, okay, I'll go say hi to Elise. Let's give it a minute. Like I don't need to go interrupt your dinner. And then my friend Sam is like, Ramona's on her way in, and I have no choice. I'm going to seat her right next to Elise, and like they don't like each other. Remember, she brought her on the show. Like they don't,
Sure.
they still do not. Elise, let me just make this clear: Elise and Ramona out here in the Hamptons do truly travel in the same circles. Like
Okay.
Ramona doesn't travel in the same circles as like Ramona and Elise are in the same circles. They
Okay.
see each other and they have mutual friends. They see each other at parties, like standing right next to each other. They still to this day don't speak. Like I even have Marge coming up to me and speaking to me. I mean, granted, you, she's telling me how she's going to take
Well, she's
down the whole
threatening.
Bravo,
Yeah. But
right?
yeah.
But that's not the point. These two still. So when Sam comes up, he's like, now Sam listens to this podcast. He likes the Housewives. I'm like, you're evil. And then later he's like, I had no choice, but you girl, there's 800 tables here. So he's like, I'm going to seat them next to each other. So I thought he was bullshitting me that Ramona wasn't coming in. 2 seconds later, Ramona's walking through the restaurant. So he comes up to me and he's like, now, David, there's no questions tonight. We're not doing a podcast episode. And Ramona was shockingly, everyone thinks I'm so negative. She was shockingly very pleasant this evening. She's like, hi, reaches out, kind of like squeezes my hand. She was with two gays. I'm like, Ramona loves that. I'm like, you're just happy to see me because like I'm
Well, who
looking.
doesn't love the gays? I
I
mean, come
know.
on. And the gays are great. I mean, everybody loves the gays.
Kind of. We are, we're just fun and we're chilled out
A
most of the time.
blast. A blast. A blast.
Yeah. I mean, so she shockingly like laughed when she saw me and like kind of reached out and like squeezed my hand. Hello. I'm like, wow. Now, later in the evening, when I was like talking to Sam, I was like, okay, I'm just going to zoom in and take a picture of Ramona. And then I said to Sam afterwards, I'm going to talk about this on the podcast. He's like, this is not appropriate. This is a high end restaurant in the Hamptons. We